we're back again, and this time with the man, Conor Kenny. How you doing, brother? We meet again, man.
Yeah.
How's Token2049 been treating you? Busy as hell, mate.
Very good.
Yeah.
Networking, but it drains you talking to so many people.
There's been points out there where it's been without stop, and I'm probably you can hear my voice is like starting to creak and croak and be scratchy, like it's ridiculous. But the networking side of things, the meeting side of things, it's been crazy. This has been an exchange-heavy Token2049.
I mean, it's the market, right?
Yeah. Somebody's making a lot of money this year. The exchanges have been clearly killing it because they are plastered everywhere. So lots of competition for us, but lots of opportunity for this man right here. Yeah. Let's go to the market, mate. It's been a crazy couple of months since January. How have you been finding it? Fun.
Yeah. I mean, spot bags, not so much fun.
Yeah.
But the leverage trades, I do the low leverage trading strategy on BTCC. We have a bunch of our trades open. And honestly, my strategy normally is I buy when everyone's super panicked. I just open a low leverage strategy. I just wait for the market to relax. If it keeps going down, we add to the position.
Yeah.
And then we wait. And I know it sounds like too stupid simple, right? And it's it's not that easy because obviously if it goes down so much, you have to watch it. You have to start adding to the position and stuff. But in a market environment where I personally, from the way I'm looking at my research, it's not the end of the world, right? So I ask myself, is what's happening the end of the world, right? If the answer is no, then I'm watching for my entry, right? And the S&P 500 down 25% in a week.
Viable opportunity.
Yeah. And then Bitcoin's only down 31%. And then we had that big wick, that one where everyone was scared. So I got that position open, and then it's happy days.
I think we just saw earlier that it was 96k Bitcoin right now, so we're even nearing 100k.
Someone's cooking right now.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, what do you think in terms of, like you said, kind of probably answered the question, but what do you think in terms of maybe the next monthly, the 6 monthly, up towards the end of the year? What do you see? Because you're locked in, right? I see you on the charts every day. Your videos are incredible. Where do you think, from what you can see and feel in the market, that we're going?
Yeah. It's always hard to say in the short term where things might sort of end up, right? Because like I said, I'm swing trading, so I'm not scalping. I'm not looking at what the day-to-day moves will be. But it feels like there is absolutely no reason why Bitcoin won't at least steadily climb for now.
Yeah.
I don't think we're in a headspace, let's call it, for an alt season in this moment, right? That could change in a second, right? But basically, everyone right now thinks the world's ending, so no one's going to be buying nonsense coins, right?
Exactly.
So we've got to wait for nonsense coins to take a resurgence. But that will come. Bitcoin breaks 100k. We stay above 100k. We chill for a bit. Ethereum starts to pump. Maybe the presidency chills out a bit.
Yeah. Those tariffs are crazy.
Yeah. I mean, if someone was dollar cost averaging into the S&P 500, they've pretty much broken even today. I checked my portfolio, from that dip. If you were dollar cost averaging, they'll be breaking even right now. So things are going to start to relax. I think there's still a risk of further downward action. I think the thing is we're now in a market environment where stocks and the macro is moving like meme coins, right?
Yeah.
Which
pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and the way you look at it is like I said earlier, decide, is Donald Trump or the new presidency or whatever's happening, is it worse than what's happened before? And you can go look at the history of what's happened within the last 10 years of crypto or within the last 100 years, right, of the stock market, or 50 years or whatever. Is it worse than the financial crisis?
Yeah.
Is it worse than the dot-com bubble? Is it worse than XYZ? Is it worse than wars starting? All of those things, is it worse than that? You might think it is, fair enough. Then adjust your strategy. But for me, I don't. So I'm okay, well, this is the moment, right? Slowly accumulating the things we believe in. And like you asked about where Bitcoin might go, my answer is up, right? But that doesn't mean it doesn't go down 50% before it goes up. And this is what people need to understand, that they need to be prepared for the volatility. You don't get paid to benefit, right? If you're going to get scared out on the way down.
I hear you. Excellent. I mean, listen, let's start with some rapid fire questions for you, man. HODL or trade? Both. Why?
Because I get married to my spot bag, right?
Yeah,
I love
same.
Bitcoin, I love Ethereum, I love XRP, I love all of these coins, right? I think they're going to go up. SUI. If I hadn't have been trading SUI, right, we were trading it on BTCC as well. If I hadn't have been trading it when it went crazy, I wouldn't have taken any profits from my bag, right? So I buy it early, I've got the profits, they're unrealized, and because we love them, I tend to convince myself to take certain amounts of profits, but would never get as much if I didn't do the short-term swing trades as well, because when we catch that ride, it's a trade. I don't care. I see the P&L, I take it. Right? But in my spot bag, I'm like, I could still 10x over the next 5 years, so I'm probably not going to take it, or as much, right? So I think for me, it's probably 80% HODL, 20% trade, and I think that keeps you in a mentality where you don't miss out on the highs and the lows. You're actually like, you're taking some out, you're putting it back in, you're taking some out, you're putting it back in. But for the majority of people, just chill, right?
I mean, I have to commend you on that Sui trade, because that was all live on his YouTube, on his X, and it was honestly like one of the greatest trades. And mate, you've got to subscribe to me if you actually want to catch these kind of things.
And
Let's be real.
Come to events like this, meet people. I opened that trade right after Token2049 in Singapore. And it was from the meetings and the discussions, people were talking about Solana, Bitcoin, Sui.
People were bullish, man.
Yeah, exactly. And you see it, and you see the plans, you know. So,
Makes sense, right? Excellent. Next one. BTC or XRP?
in what sense? What's the question?
Which one's better? Which one do you want? Which one do you like?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Why?
Because for me, I don't see any other asset on earth that I would feel comfortable with holding a significant amount for a very long time, right? Yes, I will hold a lot of gold, I hold a lot of the S&P 500, but which of those assets can I just go somewhere else and no one knows it exists, right? It basically doesn't exist, right? You can't do that with anything else. And the reason why I wouldn't choose XRP over Bitcoin is I right now wouldn't feel comfortable holding a significant portion of my network in XRP, right? A big thing, whereas I would do it in Bitcoin. I mean, I do.
Yeah. I mean, we just spoke to Oscar and Levi, and they chose XRP, so I think there's going to be some contention there.
It depends. It depends on what you're holding it for. Like, they might be holding it for the upside. And like, for me, you know, people sprout the $10,000 XRP per coin stuff, right? And for me, I don't think that's going to happen. But I know better than to think I know better. If that makes sense, right? So I just know better than that. I'm not going to sit here and say it's definitely not going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and say it is going to happen. I have enough XRP that if something like that happens, you'll probably never see me again.
Yeah.
So why would I hold, like, there's just, like, if that's a possibility, why would I hold so much? Like, all of my network, for example, where I don't feel comfortable with things.
Bitcoin. Yeah, it's all about being comfortable, I agree.
And then we trade it, right? So we trade it.
The next one, I think this is all over the timeline recently. Ethereum or Solana?
Oh, see, I'm so like in the middle, right?
Okay, I know, mate.
At this point, if I was looking for upside, it's so tough because Solana, like, I could see it going to $1,000, but Ethereum has the rails already.
Yeah.
Right? It has the entire ecosystem. If I had to choose one, let's put it on. If I had to choose one to use, it would be Solana because it works better. It's faster.
User experience, everything
Trading
is
on
just
it, all
incredible.
that stuff. Like, no one likes to trade on Ethereum. It's slow, it's expensive, but because it's slow and expensive, it's a little safer.
Yeah,
it's a little less likely to, all the problems.
And I think the downside for me for Solana has been, because I prefer Solana in all honesty right now, the downside is like the creation of Pump.Fun and the creation of the meme coins. I think that probably took a hit to the market.
Yeah, definitely.
And kind
Max
of ruined.
Right?
Max extraction. It was ridiculous. Like, there was those few months where, you know, there were thousands of meme coins. You can go there now and meme coins are being made on the words that Donald Trump says while he's doing an interview.
I'm sure Eric.
I guarantee you, you know, he's probably out there with Liberty Finance. I mean, probably, to be fair, probably, I completely agree. Speaking of meme coins then, or utility coins?
I mean, meme coins are there to make money with without. Right?
They're transparent. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're not BSing you in terms of we're going to build a product, we're going to sell you a dream.
I think on a larger scale, probably meme coins, as in like more of them, because there's only so much utility, right? So that a lot of projects are just making up utility for a coin. And what I mean by that is most projects can just use a stable coin or a layer 2, right? Or a layer 1, I mean. They could just use smart contracts. You don't really need their own token. It could just be Ethereum, or it could just be a stablecoin. So there are utility coins. If XRP manages to do what it wants to do, then of course that's a utility coin that has a lot of upside. Solana.
Huge value.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of nonsense out there. So like being able to pick between them. Whereas with meme coin, it's kind of like backing a community.
Like
Backing something stupid. And meme is memes are always going to be there. So if people can mess around with memes, it's like.
Why do you think the scales tipped? Because in 2021, everybody was all about utility coins, and then now it's more about. I think everybody just moved more to meme coins. You know, they're happy to gamble.
I think it's easy because they realise it's all kind of the same.
Yeah.
It's like I'm either going to put all my money into and again, like let's say there's 4 or 5% of utility coins that are great. You know, in each individual space, I hold coins in each individual space, and they have a utility. But there's so many that are nonsense, and all of memes are nonsense. But at least we just know they're nonsense.
Yeah.
So like, you know, it's this guy, and you're like, yeah, cool, it's this guy. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So like, if someone else
Pump
is
it up.
buying it, number goes up, right?
Exactly.
There's no make-believe technology. There's no we're gonna do this in 3 years. None of that. Just a
Some
stupid picture.
roadmap that goes somewhere,
So
right?
I think
It's
because people
ridiculous.
have realised it's kind of a, like 95% nonsense. Why not just buy the stuff that says it's nonsense?
Yeah. So true. So true. Crypto regulations or absolute decentralization?
As in either or.
Either or. What would you swing towards?
I'd probably prefer decentralization.
Decentralization.
In the idea of Bitcoin being my biggest like holding, right? I want to be able to walk around. I want no one to say anything to me. I want to be able to be completely anonymous.
Yeah.
I've kind of ruined that.
Now it's just all over YouTube, right?
Yeah. But if I was me, but you know, in another life, I would want to be, because I think that's the key to what Bitcoin is, right? And I think it'd be very hard for them to ever really make Bitcoin centralized. But in a world where we have everyone watching everything we do, it's nice. It would be nice to be able to, you know, me and you can just have a little transaction. You know?
Yeah, for one another, without intermediaries, without banks, and taking just like a small USB or hardware wallet anywhere around the world with X amount of capital. No one has a single clue. It's super powerful, right? Super powerful. Spot or futures?
Same as what we said before, and it's like, I do both.
80%, 20% trading.
It's probably even a little less than 20, right? It's like a lot of spot. And they both serve their purpose. I think someone who wants to day trade or swing trade, make a living out of it, then they're going to be doing mostly futures, right? Or they're going to be doing like spot trading. But I think there's a
What would you recommend to somebody who potentially who potentially wants to get into trading some form of crypto? Would you say hold some spot to get the experience, or just jump into the future side? Like, what would be your
hold
advice?
First, actually learn what you're holding, understand the technology, and if you're just there for price action, you can use futures on 1x, right, or 2x, very, very low, and use demo accounts, learn how to use it. If you want to be a trader, right, and most traders don't make any money, because most traders trade on their emotions, right? So when the market goes down, they sell short. When the market goes up, they buy long. And it's like, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you need to come up with a strategy. So it's not something you just jump into. And you know, I've been in Bitcoin since 2017. I only touched futures in like 2021.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And I'd say the interesting thing about it is about like the feeling of holding those positions. Sort of changes exactly how you feel and how you act. And to be fair, like the moment you jump to futures trading, I feel like that tells you who you are very, very quickly. Because your emotions are very high. When you lose money, it tells you basically like what's your discipline like, how can you act, and how do you act under pressure, right?
What I do like about futures is the fact that like you see and you process your P&L differently.
Yeah.
So like I said, like when I have P&L on Bitcoin, spot, I'm like, well, I don't care.
It doesn't mean
anything. Amount of Bitcoin. So like, it's not generating me more Bitcoin. I don't care. But if I have, you know, we've opened that position. I think the position we opened in this crash is probably my best position I've opened so far.
Yeah.
I think it's 74.9.
Wow.
Right, we have one Bitcoin on BTCC opened on there. And when I see that, you know, I closed 0.25 of it once it went up to, I think, at like 91, 92. Right, I don't care. I'm not selling Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's cash. So like, yeah, we might go to $300,000 a coin tomorrow, but like, I'm not going to beat myself up because I took that profit. I took that profit because now I can't lose, right? I've got stop losses. I've got my point where I know is my break even, and now I can't lose. Whereas when I'm holding in spot, I just let it run, right? I believe it's going to go up.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, last question for you then. Do you think I should move to Dubai or stay in London?
Absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely.
What is it about Dubai that brings all these crypto people here? What is it about the space, the mentality here that is different to somewhere like London?
Yeah, well, mentality I think is a big thing, right? I don't want to be too political, but I think a lot of people in London, a lot of people in England, they're kind of miserable, you know, and maybe that's because of the weather.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because of
Probably
high
is.
taxes, and you know they're very intertwined with what's going on with politics. And you know, if you're someone who's actually willing to do something, go out and do something. Awesome, I'll back that any day. But if you're just sitting at home and you're upset about the politics, or you're whinging about the politics, or you just talk about it constantly, right? It's just constant negative energy.
Yeah.
You constantly surround yourself with negative energy. You're not progressing yourself, and then if, you know, there's a big stigma around being like successful in India. Like people don't want you to be successful.
No, very true.
And then there's all ideas around owning property and all of that. Like I'm sure some people who are watching this will feel some way about it, right? But it's like in Dubai, people are all on a mission, right? Whether it's working a 9 to 5 and they're just with those lower taxes, or they're trying to build something on their own, or they're literally a family. Like so many people are moving over to Dubai now with their families. They're realizing that it's actually a great place to live. It does get really hot in the summer.
Yeah, it's my first time and it's ridiculous out there.
But Dubai's built for it, right? So depending on what kind of job you have, depending on where you work, it's fine. You can travel, you can base yourself here. And yeah, man, I like the lifestyle here. I've been here a long time, and I base myself here. I travel around, and the safety as well.
It's a huge aspect.
Yeah,
because London just isn't the same London.
Yeah,
I will remember us to do that.
My girlfriend can be off at work till late at night, come home at 1 a.m. I'm not worried at all, right? And imagine it was the same thing in London. And it's like sad. London's my home. Like
Yeah.
I love England, I love London, but it's lawless.
Yeah.
Right? So like, especially in this landscape, in crypto, in finances, in being social media, all of that, like people, it's not a safe place at the moment. And I hope it changes, and I hope they realize it. Like, they're changing rules and everyone's leaving, and I don't want to see my home crumble, but right now that's what's happening.
I agree. I mean, listen, you've sold me on Dubai, in all honesty. Like, I've been trying to sell me for a while, but yeah. Listen, Conor, I appreciate your time today. Always lovely to meet you, my friend. Really good. Thank you, guys. On to the next one. Have a good day.